What's going on, guys? It's J-Wall coming to you with a solo Tempoross minigame guide. Now, Tempoross is a very easy boss to defeat and does have some pretty good experience rates along with loot as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to get there as well as how to defeat the boss quickly. The quickest way to get to the boss is going to be to use an Amulet of Glory teleport over to Al-Kharid. And from here, you're just going to run south out of the back of the wall here. And then just run a little bit southwest. And you will see a ferry, Ferryman Southwood. And you're going to take the ferry over to the minigame. And here we are. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention before we get into the minigame guide itself is the Fishing Runelight plugin. I highly recommend that you turn this on and have the boxes checked that I have checked here, which would be display spot tiles, display spot icons, and the bottom 5 boxes here. It's going to make it much easier to identify those double fishing spots as we get into the guide, and this will make sense here in a second. All right, so getting into the minigame guide, you do not need to be wearing any of these items. However, I do recommend you keep your Amulet of Glory as a teleport back to Al-Kharid, as well as if you have the Angler outfit, go ahead and wear that because that will give you some extra XP as we get through the minigame. Now run towards the end of the dock here and choose the solo start option. This is going to allow us to be in our own instance, and this first part is just going to be gathering the items that we will need to complete the minigame. So go ahead and grab 6 buckets. We'll fill them up at the water pump here. And then we'll take one of each of these items, a rope, a hammer, and a harpoon. And after you do that, go ahead and leave. And we'll set up our inventory. Looking at the way we have our inventory set up, go ahead and copy it exactly as you see it here, including this bucket here in the bottom left. The reason I have that is because these squares, this empty inventory space, is 16 total tiles, and this bucket is going to be a reference point for the first half of the minigame. Now that we have our inventory set up, let's go ahead and run towards the rope ladder and choose the solo start option. And as soon as we spawn into the minigame, we're going to run northeast down the anchor of the ship and start fishing at one of these harpoon spots here. We're going to fish here until we get 8 fish. And once we hit our 8th fish, we'll run up to this shrine here and start cooking them. So there's 7. And our 8th fish. So now we run up to the shrine and we start cooking. Now the reason we have 8 fish is because as soon as this 8th fish here gets cooked, that is when the double spawn fishing spot will pop up, and it'll pop up in green. And it is right, where is it? There it is. So it just popped up. So we're gonna go ahead and fish here. Now, we're going to fish up until the point that we get 16 fish in our inventory. And sometime in the next, I would say 15 to 30 seconds, a tidal wave special attack is going to come in. So there's our 16th. We actually have 17. That's okay. We start cooking, but a tidal wave is going to come in, and we're going to go ahead and run down, when we see that, here it is, down to the tether totem pole option. And we will tether ourselves to this until it passes. It's very quick. Now we go back to cook at the shrine. And we're just cooking these 16 fish. Don't worry about the extra. Just cook the 16 and we'll run back up the anchor of the ship now and deposit these 16 fish in the ammunition crate here. So once we deposit all 16, Tempoross's energy will be lowered to 10%. And he'll stop spawning these clouds and other special attacks, which will make this go by very quickly. So there is our 16th fish. You'll see his energy get down to 10%. Run down the anchor, douse the fires that are here, and we can drop these 3 buckets and go back to fishing. So here's our double fish spawn. Anytime you see those, make sure that you're taking advantage of it. And here we're going to fish an entire inventory. As many as we can from this spot. As soon as it goes away, we'll run up to the shrine and start cooking until another one pops up. All right, so now that it's gone, let's run up and start cooking again. And we'll keep an eye out for that double spawn. There it is. Let's run down and finish off our inventory. And we will finish cooking the rest. Now keep an eye on the storm intensity. If it does get to 100%, the minigame will end and you will fail. So really what we're looking to do is cook all of these fish by 90 to 93%, because that'll give us enough time to run up the anchor here and deposit the rest of the fish. And really, actually, we're only going to deposit half of the fish, and this will make sense here in just a second. So Tempoross has 10 energy. We'll run up, we'll fill the crate with about half of the fish. And the reason we're doing that is because now that he has 0 energy, we're able to attack him. But really, we only want to get him down to about 65%, 63%. So now that we have half our fish deposited, we'll run down, we'll attack him until his essence gets to about 65, 63%. And we'll run back up the ship and start filling the either of these crates. If you do fill the empty crate, it will they'll all shoot at the same time. And that will, again, allow you to just get a quicker kill. So now that we're at 63, let's run back up the ladder. And I kept a couple of buckets in my inventory for this reason, just in case we douse the fire. We'll douse this fire, and then we'll fill up this crate. And you'll see immediately, as soon as he spawns, it starts shooting the fish back at him to lower his health. Now that all the fish have been loaded, we can go ahead and run back down the dock. His energy will be at 0, and we can finish off the kill. Now, you should be able to get through this in 2 cycles if you followed the same timing in this video. However, if your fishing level is a little bit lower, you may have to do a 3rd cycle. But that should be the kill. I think we finished around 5 minutes, which is a pretty good time. And now don't forget to fill your buckets back up, grab 6 of them, and fill them up the water pump, just so you're ready for the next round. And lastly, now that you guys have finished your first Tempoross kill, go ahead and run over to the Spirit Angler and take a net from him, and you can use it on the reward pool here to go ahead and collect your rewards. That just about does it for the video. I want to thank you guys so much for staying until the end, and if you found this useful or helpful in any way, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. It really helps me out. I'm going to continue to make content like this every week, and if you have any suggestions, please drop it down in the comments section. I read all of them, and I appreciate all your feedback. But until the next video, we're out.